Finding the right house might start with good looks.
Looks very handsome as a house.
Handsome, that's a good word.
But then come the practicalities.
I love to cook a curry. So the question is, where would we put the spices?
It helps if there are friendly new neighbours,
I think you'll find that you fit in very nicely.
as well as inspiring vistas.
Now, this is the best washing up view ever.
And you might just end up in a home that's the apple of your eye.
You've got your own mini orchard.
I tell you, it's one of the things that makes this property so appealing.
Oh,
very good.
Ba-da-bum-bum.
I don't think it pips all the others.
Today's escape promises to be fruitful as we head to a county known for abundant orchards, with pretty villages and market towns that provide rural relocators with a healthy harvest of homes to hanker after. Welcome to Herefordshire. If you're considering a rural move but don't know where to make it, you could try playing the Escape to the Country version of Pin the Tail on the Donkey. The only difference being is you replace the donkey with a map of the UK. And if fate plays its part and the pin lands in Herefordshire, I don't think you would ever regret moving to this wonderful county. Located in the West Midlands, the county of Herefordshire is one of the most rural in England, with beautiful landscapes including the Wye Valley to the south and the Malvern Hills to the east. Famed for its black and white timber-framed houses, a 40-mile road loop takes in some of the finest examples, including those in the village of Webley.
What I love most about Herefordshire is being a stone's throw away from some amazing, outstanding beauty and also the vast amount of countryside that we have around us, as well as the little market towns everywhere with their independent shops and cafes.
Herefordshire is magic. It's colourful and unique, and I feel that no matter where you go, it always pulls you back in. I particularly love Hereford city itself because it's medieval and it's steeped in history. It's got the stone wall that goes all the way around it. It's wonderful.
My couple today are crossing the Irish Sea to make their escape to Herefordshire. They have family here and blood is much thicker than the water that's been separating them.
I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're looking to escape to the countryside, to Herefordshire.
We live in Northern Ireland in a little place called Hollywood, just outside Belfast. We're lucky to be living just 15 minutes away from the centre of Belfast.
As you can see, it's very vibrant and we love it. But now it's time for our new chapter and we're heading back across the Irish Sea.
We've been here 23 years. We've absolutely loved it. We've made some great friends and it's been great crack.
But we both recently retired and our children have grown up and moved away and we want to be closer to them.
Our eldest daughter is living just outside Hereford, so we're looking for somewhere in the beautiful Herefordshire countryside.
Book lover Kevin has a growing collection that currently takes up 19 bookcases, as well as a large number of musical instruments.
Sadly, this one shrank in the wash.
And Lizzie has hobbies of her own to accommodate.
I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more sewing, learning some more arts and crafts skills.
So over to you, Escape to the Country. Can you get us what we need?
Kevin and Lizzie have up to £550,000 to purchase a Herefordshire home. For that, they'd like a detached property with lots of space to cook in the kitchen, at least 2 bedrooms, plus 2 further rooms, 1 for hobbies and 1 as a study. A decent amount of garden is a must, and an outbuilding that they could convert to a music room would be a bonus. They'd like to be in a village location with facilities, such as a pub, within walking distance, ideally somewhere close to their daughter, who lives around 10 miles from the city of Hereford. There's no denying it. Herefordshire is beautiful, and I'm pretty certain that we can find Kevin and Lizzie their own little slice of paradise. Of course, it's a daunting prospect. They're uprooting their entire lives from Northern Ireland to move to an area they don't really know that well. Relocating here is very much driven by the want to be closer to their loved ones, and it's going to mean fewer flights to and from Belfast, more Sunday lunches, and just generally spending more time together. Before we start our first Herefordshire house tour together, I want to gauge some priorities, so we're getting to know each other with a little morning stroll.
So, how are we feeling? Everybody okay?
I'm a bit nervous.
That's good. It's good to be a little bit nervous. But excited, I hope, as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Excited / slightly manic.
Slash terrified, yeah.
Don't be terrified. Don't be
Right,
terrified.
okay.
You're in very safe hands. We're going to have a lovely week. You don't know the area particularly well.
No, but we always said that when we retire, we're trying to get closer to the children.
You want to move closer to your daughter. How does she feel about that?
We're a very close family anyway. We speak every day via whatever media we can, and so yeah, it'd be nice to see her in the flesh a bit more.
I'll bet. And you're very musical, aren't you?
Well, I try to be.
Are we looking for a place with an inbuilt studio?
We're certainly looking for a property where I can put all my musical instruments, where I have room perhaps for a bit of rehearsal. When I start my own band.
Oh,
who
how do you feel
knows?
about that, Lizzie?
Well, as long as I've got a quiet space,
Sure,
and
sure.
maybe
You've got a
this.
garden shed. You've got a shed at the bottom of the garden.
I'm
planned for
thinking
you.
of you in the shed.
Oh, right, OK.
Quite right, Lizzie, quite right. And you've got quite a lot of bookcases as well.
We have 19 bookcases
19,
full
wow.
of books. So, yeah, we need to find space for books.
Yeah.
And,
Little
in there as well.
library
Oh,
would
yes.
be super.
So we have been looking in the past. We were looking quite a few months ago. Didn't find anything that we really liked. So I'm really confident. Actually, the more I speak to you, the more confident I'm getting that you're going to come up with the goods.
Okay.
No pressure there,
No
then.
pressure at all whatsoever. I think I've got a lot to live up to here, but I'm looking forward to it. We're going to go explore Herefordshire together, lots of lovely people to meet and see some fantastic properties. You ready?
Yes.
Yes.
let's go.
Okay, let's
Lead on.
do this.
We're starting our tours in the large village of Kingston. Just half an hour from Kevin and Lizzie's daughter, the population of 1,500 enjoys facilities including primary and secondary schools, a doctor's surgery, and regular buses that include a route to the city of Hereford 7 miles away. A well-stocked shop also provides a post office, banking and dry cleaning, and next to this is a pub serving meals. It's a short stroll from there to the house we're here to see.
Now, as first properties go, I'd say this is pretty special.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
It's
It's lovely.
beautiful.
Look at that.
It's very handsome as a house.
Handsome. That's a good
Yeah.
word. It is a very handsome house, isn't it?
Yes. And
Well.
it's so close to the pub, I can almost reach my hand out and grab a pint, can't I? It's just lovely.
Well, you know, we do like to think these things through.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But as first impressions go, what do you think?
Yeah, no,
think it's
eager to look
beautiful.
inside, I think.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
The pleasing frontage of this detached village house dates to the mid-19th century, but its origins lie behind, showing beginnings as a one-up, one-down 17th century timber-framed cottage. A central front door takes us to a hall, which is flanked by reception rooms, the first of which is to our right.
Come on through
Ah.
to the living room.
Oh, this is lovely.
You've got lovely views out the
The
window.
windows are beautiful.
And I love the sort of what is that, picture rail, isn't it, going around
Yeah.
the top
But you've
there,
got
it's nice.
alcoves, and where we've got alcoves,
We put
we've got
bookcases.
bookcases.
Just remember that. We come from a house where we've got a lot of big open plan. But I can see this being a very nice, warm, cosy room in the winter, for example. And a nice place to sit and read one of my many books.
One of your many, many books.
Yeah.
Shall we carry on and see some more?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Lead the
thank
way.
you. OK, cheers.
On the other side of the hall is a dining room with more alcoves for those books. Then we step back a couple of centuries into the oldest part, where we find the kitchen breakfast room.
Wow.
Oh, that is nice.
That's in a really nice square
Lovely cooker there.
kitchen.
Lovely range.
Plenty
It's a
of
very
room.
square kitchen, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, often you get rectangle,
Yeah.
you know, galley kitchens,
Yeah.
but a square kitchen is a very usable kitchen. I'm not sure if we've got enough cupboard space. We are keen cooks,
Okay.
so just looking around, would we need more?
Might do. I've got lots of
Storage.
spices because I love to cook a curry. So the question is, you know, where would we put the spices?
There is a door through here. Let's have a look-see.
Oh,
So you've got some more storage in there.
Oh, that's good. That does
Ah.
improve it a lot. I think that's a
This
really
house
useful.
keeps on giving.
There is.
And is this a Belfast sink?
It is indeed a Belfast sink.
That's a little memento of Northern Ireland for us. isn't it?
Exactly. I think it's a sign, you know.
It could be.
A vestibule next to the kitchen
Good little space area here.
Yeah.
has stairs that rise up to the bedrooms. There are 3 in total, starting with a guest double at the rear, which has built-in wardrobes. Next to this is a family bathroom. Another guest room sits to the front of the home, as does bedroom 3, the principal ensuite.
Come into the main bedroom.
Ooh.
Ah.
Oh, that's very nice and light and airy, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
It's lovely, yes.
We're at the front, so you've got the big Victorian
Yeah.
windows and the big tall ceilings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is that Victoriana that you
Yeah.
have in here.
And they've decorated it nicely. I mean, they've made the walls a lovely colour.
If you did move in, it's kind of ready to go.
Oh, the present owners have looked after it well. I think.
Yeah.
And also, this room has an ensuite.
Oh, lovely.
Oh my
I didn't notice
goodness.
that.
Oh.
Let's have a little peek.
Another surprise.
Oh, the shower's a good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
House that keeps on giving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are more gifts to unwrap here. Tracing our steps back downstairs to exit via the kitchen, we step into a garden of around 1/5 of an acre that enjoys sun all day and beautiful views of the church.
So, here we are in this lovely garden that wraps around the property. You've got a lawn area, but you've also got some veg patches and some gravel parts.
Yeah.
And then you've got these outbuildings here. So on one side, you've got a utility room. And on the other side here, you've got an even bigger space that could be used as a music room.
Excellent. And that could be where the magic happens.
Exactly. So should we talk about price?
Maybe 495?
£495,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin?
I might go to sort of like 515, something like that.
Okay, so £515,000. It's actually on the market with a guide price of £550,000. So you're both quite under on this.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, I've spoken to the owner and there is definitely some wiggle room with the price. So it's definitely something to think about.
Lovely.
So would you like to go and have another look around?
Yes, indeed,
Yes,
absolutely. Oh, of
please.
course,
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
that would be great.
Off you go.
Right, thank you.
See you in a bit.
All right.
At the top of the budget, this period detached house, spanning the centuries, has a characterful kitchen breakfast room, 2 further receptions, 3 bedrooms, and a large, well-laid-out garden with a useful outbuilding. It would put them in the heart of a large Herefordshire village with good facilities.
The garden is absolutely beautiful. It's the right size, but there are sections to it with lovely views.
It's a beautiful looking property. It's in a lovely village. I don't know whether it's a bit on the small side for us. If I were to mark it out of 10, I'd probably say a 7 at the moment.
Kevin and Lizzie have loved living near the buzz of Belfast, so to give them a taste of the Herefordshire community and culture they can look forward to, we've arranged a visit to the market town of Bromyard. Full of half-timbered inns,
It's absolutely beautiful. Look at it.
quirky shops, arts and craft galleries, and independent cafes.
Everywhere we look at, there's artwork.
It has a close-knit atmosphere where businesses support each other.
There's some amazing local produce around here. Obviously the beer and the cider and the perry, the apples, the hops. We try and reflect that with the bread that we make and collaborate with other local producers. As a good friend of mine, Scott, says, who was born and raised here, he says, if you can't get it in Bromyard, you didn't really need it anyway.
For those who enjoy live performance, there's a theatre.
There's a lot of amateur dramatics, and the theatre have groups on from children from 4 up to adults, which is great, and they put on productions. There's a little cinema in there as well, so we're really lucky to have that.
And with a lively calendar of festivals, from folk music to scarecrows and town criers, Bromyard has earned the title Town of Festivals. Kevin and Lizzie are meeting Ella Nosworthy, who's just seen another successful year at the farm where her family host their growing annual event.
Welcome to the Dingley Dell stage at Nostock.
Fantastic, and you've even piped in some real authentic festival rain.
We have. What's a festival without the rain?
Absolutely. Tell us about Nostock. So how did it all start?
It started as a barbecue. 50 people were invited, and we had a local band come and play, and we loved it so much we did it again the next year with a few more people, and then it kept growing organically until now it's a 5,000 capacity festival here every July. Each stage is dedicated to a different genre, so we've got lots of drum and bass and house, but we've also got rock and pop and indie and garage music, a little bit of everything.
So it's a really family festival.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I bring my kids along.
And you do all this at the same time as running a farm?
Yeah, we're a beef farm as well.
Yeah.
But the festival does take over most of our lives now, I must admit.
Now, I love music, and in my retirement, I really want to play more music. So what opportunities will there be for me to just get involved and play some live music?
We've got a lot of pubs who put on live music, and of course we've got open mic here.
Yes, of course.
Come and get involved, yeah.
In Dingley Dell.
I can see you
can
here.
see me live.
In Dingley Dell.
Live from Dingley Dell.
Yeah. I think you'll find that you fit in very nicely. It's a friendly town, it's kind of open to new ideas, and I think it'll be happy to have you.
It seems vibrant Bromyard
Oh, look.
Oh, cake.
Oh, cakes. Oh, come on, let's go in.
could become a real headline act for Kevin and Lizzie's new life in Herefordshire.
Let's have a look at this.
And our search for a home to make a song and dance over will continue tomorrow. The next option is just outside the village of Withington Marsh. This has a popular pub that serves food, as well as a shop with a post office and a bus route to the city of Hereford around 5 miles away. There are several footpaths and walking routes, including one that leads from the village itself to my property around 1.5 miles away.
Here we are.
Yes, indeed. I think it's really quite nice, actually. I like the stone on the side.
I'm just not sure what's in the house. At the moment, we can't see much of it.
Yeah, there's definitely more to it
Yeah.
than meets the eye from this angle. But this dates back to the 1700s.
Does it really?
Yes,
You
it
wouldn't
does.
guess that
No.
at all.
And it actually used to be the old post office. When we go inside, you'll see, and this isn't the only outside space.
Right.
Oh, really?
We'll come to that later. Should we go and have a look
Okay.
inside, get out of this rain, shall
Yeah,
we?
absolutely. Good idea.
Yeah.
The original mid-18th century stone cottage has been extended considerably to all sides by former and current owners. We're heading in via a side entrance to pass a lobby into the kitchen breakfast room in one of the more recent additions.
Oh, this is nice. Oh, I can see myself cooking a few curries here.
Yeah.
And I love all this stone here.
This is obviously part of the original cottage.
Okay.
You did say the work surface, the amount of work surface
Yes.
is important to you.
Absolutely, yeah. Totally,
and in this house, that's increased for us. That's much better.
Yeah, this is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like?
Very
And you've got a small dining area here,
Yeah.
but there is more dining space. And you've got the double doors there out into the other outdoor space.
Right. Oh,
So-
there's
Which
the
is
other one.
great, where they've placed the table to see into the garden. I like
Exactly.
that.
Well, should we go and have a look at the dining area?
Oh, absolutely,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Down the steps.
A central hallway takes us through to the large dining room, which has doors out onto the section of garden where we started our tour.
Ah, bookcases!
Bookcases! Look at that.
Well, this is a very big dining area.
Isn't it?
Bookcases all the way round, and you've got still plenty of room for everything here.
Yeah.
Just don't expect this from outside.
I wasn't sure what the house was going to give us, and it really is a surprise.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. Should we see the living area?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Excellent. This way.
After you.
On the other side of the hallway, the original part of the cottage houses a further reception with double doors out onto a garden room.
So this would be your main living space.
Yeah.
It's lovely and snug in here.
And a nice wood burner, and the stone looks incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this is part of the original building, this stonework here.
You know, those old cottage walls. And that gives you the warmth
It
as
does.
well.
And through there you've got a summer room leading out onto the back garden. So could you see yourselves here?
It's there in my head. I mean, I can see ourselves here.
The rooms are slightly larger, and that's what we're more used to.
Your faces have lit up almost seeing this place.
I feel much more comfortable
Yeah.
in this space, yeah.
No, absolutely. It really does feel like a place that we could be at home in.
Yeah.
You've not even seen upstairs
I
yet.
know.
Right, we'll go and explore.
Okay.
And you can come find me in a little while.
Okay, we'll do.
Will do.
All
Thank
right,
you. Come on.
There are 4 bedrooms on the floor above. A large double room has windows to 2 sides and built-in wardrobes. 2 further double bedrooms in the older part of the cottage are a similar size to one another and could perhaps be used for hobbies. There's a family bathroom with a tub, and then the room, that could perhaps be Kevin and Lizzie's, is one with an ensuite shower and a double aspect.
So this is the master bedroom.
There's an ensuite through there, I think.
Yeah. You have this one as the master. You have one down there next to the main bathroom as the guest. And then we use the other 2 for our hobbies and infatuations.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're absolutely loving the upstairs space. And the great thing about this property is they've got a good-sized spare room, but then they've also got the other 2 bedrooms, so they'd each have their own hobby space. Outside, there are 2 areas of garden, totalling around 1/3 of an acre. This includes 2 gated gravel drives with space for several cars, sheltered alfresco dining, and outbuildings including a garage and a workshop. Areas of lawn are surrounded by mature shrubs with a selection of fruit trees.
Should you come and hang out by the apple trees?
It's lovely.
Look at this, you've got your own mini
Beautiful, isn't
orchard.
it? I tell you, it's one of the things that makes this property so appealing.
Oh,
very good.
Ba-da-bum-bum.
And I think it pips all the others. This is a house that keeps its secrets inside. It's like an apple. You don't really know what's inside it until you get into it, do you?
Let's talk about price. Kevin should go first this time.
Yeah. I'm going to do a wild stab in the dark here and suggest 550,000.
Oh, £550,000. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Lizzie?
I'm going to go for £530,000.
Hey. Well, you're both wrong. It's actually on the market for £500,000.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well,
Right.
what can I say? Apple for teacher.
Yeah. No, thanks.
This 18th century former post office has served up surprises throughout, starting with that large kitchen breakfast room that had heaps of work surfaces. There are 2 additional reception rooms, a garden room, and around 1/3 of an acre of land. It's within walking distance of village facilities and just 5 miles from the city of Hereford.
could make apple and plum crumble.
I'll tell you what, this is also in a plum position, this house. From the outside, we weren't too sure. But once we got in there, we realised this is, I think, almost perfect, isn't it, for us?
It's absolutely lovely. The downstairs space is so important to us, and it was great. The kitchen was good, you know, really usable. But that library come study space?
It can be anything you want it to be,
Yeah.
to be honest, because it's such a great space.
Those looking to buy a home in Herefordshire will find typical cost to be a little lower than the UK as a whole. The average price for a detached property in this county is around £436,000, somewhat below the UK figure of £451,000. Now, my buyer's daughter Sarah and her partner Ben purchased a house from a current market selection featured on a previous Escape to the Country, so if you're feeling tempted, pay attention. This oast house, once used for drying hops for beer, is now a quirky 2-bedroomed attached home in a popular village with great facilities. There's a fully fitted kitchen, a cottage garden with off-road parking and countryside views. It's offered at a fixed price of £275,000. If you fancy living in a 15th century medieval hall house, then this splendid example, set along Herefordshire's black and white village trail, is currently on the market with a guide price of £600,000. It's packed with period character, from the kitchen diner to the galleried landing and the 4 double bedrooms, with gardens that extend to 1/3 of an acre. For a short stay, how about heading to the woods? A choice of 3 individually crafted cabins, all powered by the sun, offer luxurious breaks with private hot tubs, open-air baths and in-cabin massages on request. Sleeping 2, each cabin is adult only but dog-friendly with its own secure garden area. From £212 per night with a minimum 2-night stay in low season. For the mystery option, we've come to the hamlet of Westhope. Tucked well away, this cluster of individual homes is surrounded by quiet countryside. The mystery twist is that the location doesn't have the walking distance facilities, such as a pub, they've asked for here, but the local community makes up for that by organising get-togethers from coffee mornings to barbecues. A shelter built by resident volunteers is where a weekly bus, to and from Hereford, is just 1 stop away from their daughter's village of Bushbank. Whether or not the mystery house itself is the last piece in the puzzle of their search, we'll have to wait and see. And I've gone ahead to give you a sneak preview. This house has so many historical features, including this door that dates back to the 18th century and still works. The location is pretty magical too. This is what I wanted to show you. A magnificent garden that goes on and on. You wouldn't necessarily expect it from this property, and the views are spectacular. Now to reveal my mystery house in a hamlet to Kevin and Lizzie. Hello.
Hello.
Again. Welcome to the mystery house.
Oh, but you know what? It's not the house I've been looking at. It's the view. Yes. And in fact, we think our daughter lives just over there somewhere. We could probably see our house from here.
You might be quite right there. We're only 5 minutes away from Bushbank.
Wow.
It's amazing, absolutely incredible up here.
I know it's hard to tear yourself away from the views, but just for a minute, and look at this house. So what do you think?
Hey, quaint.
Quaint.
Yes.
But I'm hoping that it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yes.
I want you to go in with an open mind because I think this house is quite magical. We wanted to show you something very different.
Yeah.
Something that you probably haven't thought of.
Well, I'm scared of heights. So I certainly wouldn't have thought of coming up here.
No, it wouldn't be on our list.
Well, I wasn't expecting vertigo amongst their first impressions for this 18th century farm workers' cottage.
A world of mystery awaits.
It's flanked to one side by a 2-storey extension completed in the 1970s. Steps lead to a porch added in the 1990s, which opens into a reception room within the original part of the home.
So actually where we're stood is where their animals would have been.
Oh, this was a stable?
Yeah.
So you've...
Well, not a stable, but it would have been where they kept their, you know, some of their animals down here, and then they would have lived, you know,
above.
So you're showing us an animal pen at the moment.
Don't look at it like
I know.
The beams.
So yes, these are amazing.
It's a good size.
I mean, whether we'd fit furniture in? I don't know because of the layout. But I can imagine it's lovely and warm and snug in here when you've got the fire raging and the door closed against the elements.
Should we head through to the dining space?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Watch the little step. And then you've got this space that you could use as a dining area.
Yes.
Again, you.
To be sitting here, eating your food, looking out across that scenery.
Across
Incredible.
that view.
Yeah.
You'd never, ever get bored of that view.
Could you see yourselves here?
It's just a little out of the way
Yes.
for us.
I'm beginning to think maybe a little small for us.
Okay.
Our tour continues on into the extension, which houses a corner aspect country kitchen.
When you think country,
Yes, it is.
this is the kitchen,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
And imagine doing your washing up or your cooking here.
Yeah.
Now this is the best washing up view ever.
Would this be enough workspace for you?
It's a little tight. So yeah, it is a little on the snug side.
Okay. I think what we like to do with the mystery is just try and throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. It's got a lot going for it. It's whether it's the right one for you.
Of course, yeah.
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 Do you want to go and have a look upstairs?
Yes.
Bit of a slice of history up there. You can come find me in a little bit.
We will do.
Get my
Let's
magnifying
go.
glass.
Also in the extension on this ground floor is the family bathroom with an integrated shower above the bathtub and colourful tiling. Above us on the first floor of the extension are 2 of the 3 bedrooms.
Look at this.
A good-sized double partly set into the eaves, and to the front another good-sized double with an ensuite. In the original part, a large landing provides options for a study that might broaden horizons.
You wouldn't get any writing done because of the view.
Yeah, look at it. Look. And I wonder if he can wave to Sarah from here. Hello, dear.
Next to this, bedroom number 3 in the eaves of the 18th century cottage has a door that no doubt has some tales to tell.
They didn't have locks in those days. Look, they just had holes for people to peep through.
Oh my, the age of that door, just to feel it.
I know, it's incredible.
It's really quaint.
It's just lovely, isn't it?
And the view is from the bed to look out of the
Yeah.
window. Amazing.
Well, let's have a look at the rest.
Okay.
It's a bit of a gamble with the space and the size of the rooms, but I'm still confident that garden might win them over.
There's around half an acre in total, and for them to appreciate the full splendour, I'm testing their mettle.
Hi-ho! Hi-ho! That's very slippery, be very careful with that.
And particularly Kevin's by taking them right to the top.
Sharp intake of breath and, oh,
Look at that.
amazing view.
Herefordshire looks even better from up here than it does from down there. Like a master landscape painter has done it.
I feel calmer being up here, just...
I'm
the
beginning
peace
to get a
and
bit
quiet.
panicky.
I know.
Can you not see my face?
I won't make you go up to the edge, don't worry.
A few feet below, there are veg beds and the workings of an old cider press, an apt spot for making a level-headed guess at the price.
Okay, so taking all this into consideration, have you thought about the price of this one?
475,000.
I'm going to go a bit higher than that, so I'm going to say 495.
Well, it's actually on the market for £550,000.
Oh, wow.
Right.
But I can understand that with, you know, when you look at the land and the space out here and the view, yes, I do get that.
My 18th century mystery cottage offers a period property with original features, a country kitchen, 3 double bedrooms and a terraced plot of half an acre. It's in a close-knit community near to their daughter in the neighbouring village and offers panoramic views.
It definitely is the mystery house because there's this little quaint cottage as you approach, and then you come into the house and see the magnificent gardens. Perhaps a little bit too much of a challenge to maintain.
It's certainly a surprising house. And I have to say, it's amazing, stupendous, wonderful, mystical, magical and mysterious. With, of course, some of the best views you'll find anywhere in the world. I mean, Herefordshire, you are gorgeous. I'd happily pay to see this place. And I'd happily pay to stay here. But I don't think it's something for us to buy.
Okay, shall we tear ourselves away from this?
If we must.
If we must, let's go. Kevin and Lizzie are well on their way to finding their own slice of Herefordshire heaven. But let's meet another couple, Deborah and Mark, who believe they've already found theirs.
I take an early retirement in 2019 from having worked for a large multinational company for the past 34 years. And I really wanted to do something completely different to my career, which for me involved working outdoors.
And we found a mill that dates from 1790, but it came with a garden that was open to the public for 6 months of the year.
Deborah and Mark have been the new owners of Westonbury Mill Water Gardens since buying the place from the man behind it all in 2021.
This magnificent building is a water-powered cuckoo clock built by Richard Pym, the creator of this entire garden and the follies in it.
So this particular feature we call the spiral mound. Young children just love climbing this and rolling down the bank again.
As well as becoming the new caretakers of the established gardens, they're expanding to transform the former sheep grazing area using their own creative vision.
And I've started to develop this, a Japanese tea house that's partly through construction, and then I will be building a bridge across to it and a walkway around it.
We've probably never worked quite so hard in our lives, but it's been a real joy.
Wow, what a beautiful house and garden Deborah and Mark have. So I'm certainly not going to turn down the opportunity to meet them face to face and discover it all for myself.
These beautiful gardens are open to the public for 6 months of the year from the start of April.
Where does this lead? It's almost like a maze.
It is.
Much of it relies on water mill technology, so there's a lot of maintenance behind the scenes to ensure everything is presentable.
Waterways all running through here to create little islands.
And today, Deborah and Mark have a couple of jobs for me.
So the first thing we have to do in the morning to get the water tower going is we're going to have to open a sluice gate, and we're going to ask you to do that for us today.
OK, I mean, I can't see anything here. What am I looking for?
So you're looking for just a small piece of wood that you're going to be able to slide up and see the water moving straight away down there.
OK, so the water's now going underneath. I can see it coming out there.
Yes, that's turning the band, where there are those sort of buckets that will come up, pick up the water from a little sump at the side, and that will now feed a tank, and then that water will build up a head of pressure, and we'll see it coming out of the gargoyle as a large spout of water.
So is this like an old school water feature?
It is. It's really a folly, and a folly really is defined as something that has no practical purpose other than to put a smile on your face.
Excellent. Well,
That's
it's
what
doing
it
its
does.
job.
It may be a folly, but it's also home to dozens of doves, whom I'm told are rather peckish around this time of day.
So how do we go about feeding these doves then, Deborah?
So I'm going to give you a little jar of corn, and you're just going to gradually throw it onto the ground, and they should come down for you.
Like a fairy princess.
Fairy princess.
Oh, how lovely. Do I have to sing?
And they should come down.
They should come down. Oh, oh. No, that'll scare them off. Come on, doves.
It seems idyllic, but I'm wondering what it's like to have members of the public wandering around your garden for half the year.
When we first saw this place being advertised, we didn't even know that it was a business. And it was only when we turned up, it was like, well, hold on, this is a full-on business, 7 days a week for 6 months of the year. But we meet so many people who come into this garden from such varied walks of life. And every single one of them, and I mean every single one of them, has been positive and encouraging to us, motivational in terms of the work we put into the garden. You know, we're out in this garden really every day and working away, and it's just been a joy.
People are very grateful that we decided to keep the garden open. And there are some people who say this is their happy place and that's where they want to be. So it's a joy, actually, to meet all those people and sort of give something back.
And so you said you've got no regrets at all?
No.
Sometimes we were quite exhausted. We sort of sit slumped in the sofa and think, what have we done?
But it's that exhaustion that doesn't come from stress or mental effort. It comes from physical work, and it's different. And, you know, you then, I don't have any problem sleeping, and we're just quite happy.
And what about having Herefordshire countryside right on your doorstep?
It's so beautiful and such a secret. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell. It's not going to be on TV, don't worry.
Well, Mark and Deborah have ended up with a dream lifestyle they didn't even know they wanted. And I'm wondering if the result of this week's house hunt will be a tale of the unexpected too.
It's certainly been an entertaining week, and I've really enjoyed helping Lizzie and Kevin get to know this beautiful county better. What are they going to do next? Let's go find out. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Well, exhausted, actually.
It's tiring, isn't it?
It is.
It's been pretty exhausting, but brilliant. Great experience.
So talk to me about properties. You know, we saw a variety, didn't we?
Yeah, it was the post office.
Oh, the post office.
Yeah.
That really stole your heart, didn't it?
It did. We walked into the house and we felt right at home. The kitchen, as you walked into the bright kitchen, and the rooms were all a good size.
Yeah, it had space for what I wanted. It had good options for creating perhaps an annex or something like that down the end of the garden. It had the beautiful fruit trees, and it was a good price as well, we thought. So we're keen to put our stamp on the post office.
Oh! So what might your next steps be?
Have a chat with the owners and see how quickly they want to move.
It's a good location. It's spot on for where we asked you to look.
Yeah, look, it was good.
Wow, that's very exciting. And please keep me updated because I want to know what happens.
Will do.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. I've had a lovely week.
Toast it with tea.
Yes, Charles.
Hey.
Kevin and Lizzie were certainly taken by at least one of our properties, but I think the big achievement of this week is that we've really cemented in their minds that Herefordshire is the place for them. I want to wish them all the best with their next chapter, and I'll see you next time on Escape to the Country.
Lizzie and Kevin returned to the 18th century former post office, but without an offer on their own home, were unable to take things further. They still very much want to make the move to the area, so we hope they manage to secure a buyer soon. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales and need our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.